Yo, what's good? It's your boy AP. I'm back with another video. Today we got the Boston Celtics offseason. I'm gonna talk about what I think they should do. Even though the season's not over yet, I still want to talk about it. I'm just going in order of the NBA teams. So right now, currently on May 25th, they're currently they have a 17-point lead on the Heat going into the third quarter, down 3-1. So there's a lot of different scenarios that I'm gonna go with today that so you just gotta bear with me. So this scenario is if they lose to the Heat in this round in the Eastern Conference Finals and they don't come back. Um, I'm just gonna start off hot and say that they need to get rid of Jalen Brown. I'm gonna rephrase that. I don't think they need to get rid of Jalen Brown, but I just don't know what else you could do. Because they haven't really played well this postseason either. They dropped two games to the Hawks for whatever reason. I'm gonna give Trey Young his respects, but still, they dropped two games to the Hawks, who shouldn't have won two games. Uh, Philly, where Embiid was not really playing like Embiid, took them seven, and they went down 3-2 in that series. So I don't, and now they were down 3-0, potentially bring it back to 3-2 right now, but still down 3-0 to an 8 seed. It's just, I know Miami's better than an 8 seed, but still, they're still an 8 seed. So, and they still had to fight their way there. So I don't know. So this scenario is if right now that I'm talking about is if they lose this series against the Heat. Um, I see so much hate on Twitter and all this shit about Tatum and Brown not being able to play together. Now, do I agree they're a somewhat similar style of player? Yes, but they've proven that they can play together. Literally since Tatum came in the league in 2017, like they've proven like I get the teams around them have been good too because without you know what I'm saying like but they went to the Eastern Conference Finals I think against LeBron in Tatum's rookie year. So like it's not and they were just at in the finals against a dynasty. So I don't know. I don't like the hate of that Tatum and Brown get as a duo because clearly they've proven to be one of the best duos. Now, obviously, you have to have some hardware for that, and they did both just to make an All NBA team. So I guess that is some hardware to prove it. But I don't know if they lose this series, they need to get rid of Brown, and um, I've been trying to. I've been seeing a whole bunch of stuff on Twitter, obviously about trade packages and where he could go. Seen him go to Houston, where James Harden's apparently supposed to be going to this summer and stuff like that. So, I don't really like that fit. If they can get, I don't know. I don't even want to talk about the Rockets right now. I'll wait till I talk about them. I don't really think I like that fit. It could work. Obviously, GMs can make shit happen. I don't know. But with what I'm going, I don't usually take I don't really listen to this guy, but I'm starting to because it's kind of funny. And he's either really right or really wrong, and I feel like there's no really in between. And he's very rarely right. Okay, very right. So Kendrick Perkins floats the idea of a Jalen Brown and Damian Lillard straight up trade. Now, obviously, I don't know uh the salary. Jalen Brown's making 30. He's eligible for a supermax because he made an All NBA team, which is also another. Which I think he'd be getting paid more than Dame, which would also be better for the Celtics in this situation. Um, but player wise, I'm not talking about money wise. I'm just talking about player wise right now. I don't see either team saying no. You get the Portland finally can start to retool, I guess. And I don't want to say be an immediate contender, but I mean if you got Simons, Brown, Sharp, Grant there if he stays there, Nurkic, like if you got some solid guys there, so and you could definitely retool to make that roster more competitive 100%. So um and let Simons play the one. I don't really know how he is as a true point guard, but worst case, you bring in a point guard, let Simons play the two, and Brown can play the three. So I don't hate that at all. And then if you're the Celtics, why would you say that? Why would you say no to that? Because worst case, now I don't. It would be kind of tough, but say you keep Smart because you got him signed till 2025, 2026. Um, if you keep him and you start him, then you can play Dame off the ball. Dame comes off screens. I'm not saying he comes off screens as much as Steph and stuff, but you can have Marcus Smart still be somewhat of a facilitator on that team with Dame and Tatum on that team. Um, I think it makes sense, and maybe you even make a move where you trade Marcus Smart, maybe get some more depth pieces, and keep like a Derek White or a Brogdon for the backup point guard behind Dame. Um, and then I mean, you stay. You don't necessarily get younger, obviously, unless depends on what depth pieces you get, trading Marcus Smart and stuff like that. You don't get younger, but you're definitely still in win now mode. It's not like you're making a decision to where it's like, oh, we're just gonna rebuild or retool for a little for Jason Tatum and give him like no, you're still in win now mode 100%. Tatum's 25, and I think Dame's 32. So yeah, I believe so. So you're in win now mode still, and Tatum's got a long like Tatum's still technically not even his prime, which is kind of crazy because I think people say their prime you don't really enter your prime to like 27, 28. So that's crazy. Um, so now I'll switch. Now, if they do go on to win this and be the first team ever to come back from 3-0 in NBA history, and say they lose in the finals, we'll go with that scenario. So they come back and then they lose in the finals to the Nuggets. Um, I feel like obviously with besides like retooling a little bit, like maybe getting rid of like Blake Griffin, getting rid of that, maybe getting rid of Mike Muscala, so, and just like retooling a little bit, retooling the bench pieces a little bit. I feel like you got to run it back. I I just I don't know. It just feels weird to not let them try to win a chip together because I, Perkins also um in the article I was reading about him saying Dame for Brown, he was saying how he's never seen Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum work out together in the summer, and he's like, I don't even need them to be best friends. I just think they need to work out together, da 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 da. And I've never seen it. It's like I understand that, but if you see interviews and stuff like that, like these dudes don't have animosity towards each other. Like they don't hate each other. Like I'm pretty sure in an interview, like Jalen Brown's called Jason Tatum like his brother. Like it's no ill will. It's not like I'm trying to be better than you. Like of course there's always going to be that competitive spirit between guys, but like I don't ever think I don't. It doesn't seem like it's a I need to be better than you type attitude. So yeah, so I don't see that, but I mean it's a possibility. Um, but yeah, I think you need to run it back if you win this series and then lose in the finals. Now, obviously, depends on how bad you lose, what happens in the finals. But if you lose in like a respective 6 games, 7 games, you run it back. And then to the last scenario about Jalen Brown and the trading, if you win the series and then you win a chip, you have to run it back. Maybe you could still retool the bench or whatever. Like if Blake Griffin, guys like that, like you can get rid of them and retool the bench and stuff like that. But if you end up winning the chip somehow this year, you run it back. So that's not even a question about trading Jalen Brown. That would be stupid. Um. So now I'll jump off of Jalen Brown. What else I think they should do? Kind of what I was just saying. They should retool the bench pieces. Uh like they have some decisions to make. They need to make a decision whether they want to sign Grant Williams to an extension. Um they need to they have Danilo signed for another year, so they got to see if they can get off his contract or maybe he comes back and he's a perfect piece that they want, so they're going to stay with him. They got to make a decision on Jalen Brown whether they're going to pay him that supermax because that is upwards toward 300 million, which is fucking crazy. So that's another decision that they have to make. Obviously they don't have to make that till the summer, so they're probably obviously waiting to make. No shit, they're making waiting to make their decision to see how the postseason ends for them. And guys like Blake Griffin, like I just I love Blake, but I loved Blake. Blake is just he can still be a veteran guy, but they got to make a decision about him. They want to sign him. Da 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 da. I think they got to make a decision about like Peyton Pritchard too. They want to sign him to extension. Um, and they got a guy like Sam Hauser till 2024, 2025 on a $5 million 3-year deal, which I think is crazy. And he can be exactly what they need around a Tatum and Brown because he's a shooter. They've been using him great this year. So they do have some decisions to make. I think they can obviously, like I said, decisions are going to be made. Depends on if they come back from the series and go on to win or lose the finals. Their decisions about Blake Griffin and Peyton Pritchard and Grant Williams stuff could change. Now, if they lose the series and they end up losing tonight after being up 17 in the third quarter, maybe those guys are gone. Maybe they're going to really retool the bench. Maybe they'll even trade a starter like a Marcus Smart or trade a guy right off the bench and Derek White, stuff like that. So yeah, Al Horford too, my man, bro. He is. I don't get it. I don't understand it. He's not looking great this series, obviously, but I mean, the dude's 36. Give him some slack. Cut him some slack. But they got him till 2024, 2025 before they got him up for another season, I believe, or two before they have to make a decision on if they want to extend him. And by then, Jesus Christ, will be 38. Oh yeah, this might be Al Horford's last run unless he literally can still shoot 40, unless he finds a way to shoot 45% from three on like 6 attempts a game. Um, so potential free agents that they could go after this year, I think. Now it's hard to like say who they should go after because of um like they're already a contending team, so they can't go after like it would make sense for them to go after a guy like James Harden. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why like so their free agency is more of a like a okay, let's try to get a guy coming off the bench, like a good solid bench guy. But guys that I'm looking at are like get a guy like Alec Burks to come off your bench, um, nice scorer, or get a guy like Jay Crowder back on the Celtics, a nice 3-and-D guy, good locker room guy. From what I hear, I don't know how the Phoenix did not end well, obviously, but and he didn't really play in the Milwaukee series against the Heat, so I don't really know. Um, but Mason Plumlee's a good backup big. I would take him over Luke Cornett. Seth Curry off the bench. Like there's very serviceable role players in this free agency. Um, Veteran guys like a Jeff Green, uh, young guys like like Lonnie Walker. Like there's a good mix this year. Like Bruce Brown is a free agent this year, so I mean he'll probably sign with the Nuggets with the season they had. But I'm just saying like there's a lot of decisions, a lot of good decisions that they can make. Um, yeah. So I think this, dude, the best case scenario for the Celtics this year. Well, of course, best case scenario this year is they win the chip. They've come back 3-0 to make history and then win the chip. But I say I'm go. In my mindset is that they're not winning the series. I have Jimmy Butler. Even if they push it to 7, I have Jimmy Butler closing the series out, which I don't think it'll get 7, but it could. I don't know. But so in my mind, the series is over. So with that being said, the best case scenario is you shop Jalen Brown. You see what you can get for him. Um, and if that Dame trade is up, I mean, dude, I don't know why you don't take it. I love to see Dame in a big market team. I'd love to see Dame with like an actual like Tatum's a superstar, so I could see um I want to see Dame next to an actual superstar. Um, yeah, I just want to see Dame win. So that's another thing too. I'm a little biased. I just want to see Dame win. But I also think Brown would succeed. Like Brown's only 26, so it, like Blazers would still be a tough team, and they probably that probably makes them a playoff contender next year too. Mm, I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that. It makes them a playing team next year if they get Jalen Brown for Dame Lillard, and then they retool a little bit their bench and da 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 and do this and get some help and on the big side and stuff like that. They got Nazir Little and Nurkic, but I just mean like for the bench pieces, maybe even get a better starting big. Um, they're definitely a playing team, pushing a playoff contender. Not a championship contender, playoff contender. Because I mean, Jalen Brown's so young, you let him play with Anthony Simons, get them chemistry. I like that. I like that fit a lot. Uh, but Yeah, so that's what I think the Celtics should do this offseason. Um, I don't I don't want them to win. I'm just being completely honest. I want to see Jimmy Butler get a ring this year and or Jokic. So best case scenario is that the Heat uh close it out tonight. But the score as of right this second at 10:04 p.m. The Heat are up. The Celtics are up 19 with a minute left in the third. So it's not looking good. So the game it's gonna go six. Um. So yeah, I don't want the Celtics to win, but that's what that this is my opinion on what I think the Celtics should do. Obviously, this is a little harder to do because there's so many scenarios that could make their offseason way different than other teams, like how I just said the Hawks. We already know that they didn't make a playoff run and all this stuff. So, but the Celtics have so many scenarios where if they lose right now, their offseason changes. Maybe they do trade Brown 100%. If they somehow win and win the chip, they got to run it back. Stuff like so. It's like that. This video is a little harder to make, but make sure you guys go follow my podcast, Garbage Minutes Podcast. The link will be in the description. Make sure you go show some love over there. Make sure you go show some love to my Twitter, which is I'm pretty sure just uh at garbage underscore minutes. My Instagram at garbage minutes podcast, or just kidding, at garbage minutes, and then TikTok at garbage minutes, and also AP underscore Jones. I appreciate you all. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you comment down below what you think the Celtics should do, should not do. If you agree with me, if you don't agree, whatever you think. But yeah, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate all you. But I am out. Deuces.